everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
So this is one of those times we're actually in person together. It happens a handful of times a year. So we wanted to remake the video.
Microphones, do we want to use those?
No, we're fine. I'm sure we're loud enough.
Okay.
So you want to remake a video?
Yes, we are gonna redo our book signing video. We made one it was a couple years ago.
It was. We were at Love in Vegas.
And so we go to about 6-ish book events a year. So we've gone to
more.
a
Mandy
lot.
has FOMO. She's afraid to miss out on book events. So here we are.
We have gone to a lot of book events. So we feel like we're fairly seasoned pros. And we always get some questions that maybe our video, like people will just have further questions from our video. So we are doing a new one to just provide a little updated information. All the things we talk about are linked down below in our Amazon store. You can go to our book event, go to the Amazon store, and then click on the book event. And it has everything right there for you that you will need for a book event.
Mm-hmm. And our system's changed a little bit too, so it's kind of nice that we're remaking this because we've figured out what we really don't need and what we do need.
Yes, so these are like the real go-to essentials for a book event.
Yeah.
So the first question that we got asked a lot is, how do you decide on what book event do you go to? Like, how do you decide which one's good and which one's maybe to avoid?
Well, Mandy calls and says there's a book event and I want to go, and I go, oh, okay, fine.
Okay, so the best way to find a book event, you can always ask people who've been, so you can check that way. But say you don't know anything about book events. So the best way to find book events is, one, you can go to Beventi, and I'll put the link down below or I'll put it up in the caption so you can see how to spell that. But Beventi often has all of the book events listed. A lot of authors use Beventi. When we did our first video, very few authors were using Beventi.
And we were annoyed with Beventi. We hated using it. But now it's a staple.
So a lot of authors put their pre-orders on Beventi, so they will have all of the book events on there. So it's a great way to look and see which book events are coming to your area. Or if you want to travel somewhere and you can see some of the authors, not all the authors, because only the authors who have signed up on Beventi for pre-order will be on there. And we do find a lot of times, especially indie authors won't necessarily use Beventi because there are a lot of charges for both parties, but it is a little more of a step. So sometimes authors will just go ahead and use a Google form. So the other way to find book events is to follow your favorite authors on social medias and see where they say they're going to be. And you can also follow our channel because we update a lot on book events as well.
And I'm sure there's probably Facebook groups out there for it. I've never found one. I've never looked for one, but there's got to be groups.
Yes. So you can always message us if you have any questions about a book event, but really the ones that are going to be the fun ones are the ones that have authors that you want to see.
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully that answers that. And then the next thing, so now you've picked your book event that you want to go to. You are having questions. Do I want to get VIP? Jessica and I always, when VIP is an option, we always get VIP because that lets you in earlier to the signing, which really helps if there's popular authors at that signing. It usually gets you some other perks. Sometimes there's some really cool swag bags and things like that. But that extra time without everyone in there during the normal signing times really helps you get a lot of those authors covered. So we find it's worth it. But you do not have to do VIP. You can do general admission and still have a really great time. And some events don't even offer VIP.
Yeah, the price is worth it for most events. Though.
Yeah, so just look at the ticket tiers and decide which ones, are there a lot of big named authors that you want to see? If there's only one, then it might not be worth it to you to get the VIP. If there's a lot, then you might really want to consider it and then just see what other perks come with it.
Because there's a lot of authors, like Chantal Tessier, someone when she's here, or an event, she's not at this one, but when she's at an event, the lines are out the door all day. And being a VIP is typically one of the only ways that you're going to get to see her. She'll stay, but you're going to be standing in line missing out on all these other authors. And so VIP is normally the best way to do it because you just get in there, get in line, and there's just not as many of us.
Yes. Okay, so next you've picked your event. So you're going to want to, and even if you don't have Facebook, I would highly encourage you just to create an account just for the purpose of being able to get into the group that you're going to. So all of the book events will have a Facebook group, and that's where people ask questions. The authors post pre-orders on there, and there's a lot of event information. You can get your attendee packet usually from there, which is going to have the seating chart. I'll talk more about all of that stuff later. But just even creating a Facebook account that you're never going to to use and only just so you can access that group would be really important, I think, because that's where a lot of great information
Sometimes
is.
they have like Instagram, like they all probably have Instagrams as well, but it's not a group where you can sit and talk about what's happening. And a lot of them, there have been a couple that have used, one for sure, that uses Discord. I don't like Discord. I mean, we use it, but I don't like it. And it's just, it's not the same because I've been in both groups, some that use Discord, some don't. And you just don't get the same information as accessible. It's just not at your fingertips.
Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to decide what authors you want to pre-order from. And so pre-orders, you're going to be in that Facebook group. There will always be usually a link where you can go directly to the pre-orders. The authors, usually the organizer will create a link where everything is together. But you can check Beventi. You can also search the Facebook group for certain authors, and you can do your pre-orders that way. A lot of authors incentivize with pre-orders by offering like swag and different things and some discounts, or things that are only going to be available at that signing. So bigger authors will often have like a signing exclusive. There will be a book box company with signing exclusives, and you really have to pre-order if you want to make sure to get those.
Yeah.
Most authors will have some books to sell at their table, but they don't want to go home with a lot, so they don't often overpack for books like that. So if there's something you really want, either get it ahead of time or pre-order.
Well, and the other thing with pre-orders too, because we do this with Coveted Cover, we judge how many books we're bringing to the event based on how many pre-orders we have. We know if something is really popular, we need to bring extra. But if you're not purchasing those books, then we don't know. We think that nobody wants it, so we don't bring as many. So it's very important to purchase. Plus, they sell out. If there's a book they really want, there's a chance if you don't pre-order it, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, and then we do a spreadsheet. Should I show my spreadsheet? I'll just show kind of a glance at it. We do a spreadsheet where we put who the author is, the pre-orders that we have, and then I also added Jessica's on here. So that way we can mark this off, because it is not the author's responsibility to keep track of your pre-orders. And that's something that comes up in almost every single group we've ever been in. There will be somebody who posts who will say, I forgot who I pre-ordered from. Can the authors tell me if I pre-ordered? Authors do not have time for that. They have so many pre-orders, so many other things. So you really have to find a way to keep track of those yourself. I just do a spreadsheet every time I pre-order. I write the author's name and the book that I've pre-ordered from them. And that just keeps track of it. Jessica does the same thing. And then I also create a folder in my email, which will say the event name, and I send all emails that go to that event, like the tickets, all my pre-order stuff, anything like that goes into that. The hotel all goes into there, because most events that we travel to, we are actually traveling to. And so you want to be in that Facebook group so you know when the room block comes out, because you get a significant discount. For example, the room that we're in right now for the book event we're at, our room is like $300 a night cheaper than if we didn't have the room block when I tried to add on to it.
But you also have to stay on top of that, because when those room blocks go up for sale or they're gone really quick, like within an hour or two. The other thing too,
but you don't always have to stay on property. If it's a
No.
single day event, not such a big deal. But if it's multi-day, it's nice to be on property.
Yeah. The other thing too with pre-orders and knowing what you pre-ordered, the good thing about Beventi, and a lot of authors use Beventi now, is that you can go into your profile, and it'll show you for each event what you've ordered. But if some authors had Google Docs and stuff, then you're going to miss out on that. So I wouldn't 100% depend on that. But I do, like for this event, I knew the only authors I ordered from were through Beventi, so I didn't have to keep as detailed of a spreadsheet.
Yeah. So one thing we didn't mention talking about ticket tiers and staying at events and things like that is that there are some events that are single day that are strictly just the signing starts at a certain time and it's over at a time, and that's all there is with it. But there's also events that will be a day long that have other activities happening, or a lot of events are multi-days with multiple things happening. Even if the signing's only on one day, the day before they might have panels, or there might be like a dance or an after party or something. And so being in that Facebook group lets you know all of the different things, and then checking your ticket tiers to see what you have access to. Because sometimes there's special things for VIP, like we've had meet and greets for the VIP the day before the signing and things like that. So everything just is very different. So you just got to check those tiers and decide which activities you want to do and which ones you don't. Okay, so as you're approaching the date, you've got your pre-orders going. Any books you're bringing from home, I always recommend writing those down as
Yeah, because
well.
otherwise you forget them. Like I forgot one.
Yes,
Mhm.
and that was when we made some adjustments to our list
Mhm.
because I started
No, I
tracking.
forgot one this time. Remember?
Oh yes,
I
at
did
home.
bring it. I
She
forgot it
at
at
home.
home.
But one time we stood in line for an author and she forgot that she had a book for the author to sign,
'Cause it
and
was
we
in
had
my
to
drawer.
stand in line again.
Yeah.
So it's important to have that spreadsheet. And then what I do is I have a clipboard. I'm just adding stickers to it as we go along. And I just put everything on the clipboard. So I have the seating chart. And one thing that we do the night before at the event is we print off the seating chart. Sometimes the events will give it to you, other times they don't. So I print it off. We go to dinner and then we can see the whole list of all the different people that are there. And then we highlight, I use erasable highlighters, which is so handy, but we highlight all the ones that we have pre-orders for or books that we brought from home. Then we mark people that we want to make sure we try to go to every single author, but it doesn't always work out that there's enough time. So then we star or make a mark by authors we've never met before that we really want to see and go from there. So it keeps us organized, and then you're not spending a lot of time trying to figure out where you want to go next because you can just simply go get in line and then you can look back at your stuff. So having that map printed out before you leave home, I think, is also an essential.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what to pack. So back here, I have my book cart. Jessica and I highly recommend the 4 Wheels book cart.
Yes.
Some events will have requirements on what you're allowed to bring for carts, others don't, but this book cart is accepted at all events. So this is the one we always take, and she has one too.
Yeah, and the book carts, the big ones, when they don't have regulations, the big ones get to be difficult to get around sometimes.
Yeah.
So definitely, we like this size. You can fit tons of books in here. Yeah, we're good.
So we have this that clips on there. I can put my water in here, a snack if I want to. There's a place for my cell phone, so it's easy access, that sort of thing. This is just, it's linked in the bottom below, but this is something that can go on your regular luggage as well, which is kind of handy when you're traveling. So the next thing is we buy these bubble mailers that we keep our books in to keep them safe. I'm always horrified when I see people posting their pictures where they're just throwing books in their suitcase. Like, I cannot do that. That is stressful. So we put all of our books in here. So what our trick is that makes this so much easier so you don't get confused or have a book. This is when we switched our system.
We did.
So your book doesn't get lost at the bottom of your cart and then you realize that you forgot to have an author sign, is we put our books in the mailers that we've brought like this, okay?
The ones from home.
The ones from home. And so I'm gonna show an example. So for example, this is CR Jane's at a lot of events, so I feel comfortable showing hers.
Yeah.
So we have CR Jane's here. And so once I have seen CR Jane, she signed it, it comes out of the bubble mailer and I lay it flat in my cart. And then any other books that I buy go flat. And then anything still in a bubble mailer, I know as an author that I need to still have sign a book. It makes it so easy. Often at events, I think we've only been to one event where we didn't get a tote. So then, and our tote just rests on top of our cart and we put extras in there and all of our bubble mailers. The bubble mailers also work really well because that's how we package our books to fly home.
We don't seal them. We've been asked that before. We don't seal them. We leave them on top and we just reuse them over and over again. But yeah, we put them inside of our luggage in the bubble mailer and it pads them and keeps them safe. In between clothes as well.
Okay, other essentials for the trip. Okay, we bring a letter, so we are spelling out Bestie Book Reviews, and we bring a letter and we have the author sign this. This is really handy because a lot of times we meet authors that we don't, like, you can't have a physical book for every single author, although I would love to be able to do that. It's just not possible, especially when you're flying to events. So the letter is great because we can meet authors, we can get their information, so we can get books on Kindle if we want to, and we can have them sign our letter, and it's just a really cool keepsake.
Well, plus we have a lot of author friends because we go to so many of these that we have all their books, or we don't, there's nothing new out, and so we're not going to buy the same book over and over again, so having them sign a letter is kind of nice. Plus it also, there's authors too that you have never met, and you're gonna, if you take the letter up to them and have them sign it, then you can talk to them without having to feel obligated to buy a book, but you might learn about a new book and want to buy it then anyway. And then we just use either what what are these?
Flare pens.
Flare pens, thank you. I just get flare pens, the thin ones for the letters. I also have metallic ones that are just felt pens, but that's what we use on, this is what I journal with too. But that's what we use on our letters.
Okay, and then I also bring a little pencil pouch in here. I keep like essentials like a protein bar, so I have a snack because signings are often long and you won't always have time to head back. I keep chapstick, a hair thing, just all those little essentials, some band-aids in case someone runs me over with their book cart.
Somebody ran me over twice with her suitcase yesterday, so it happens.
And then I also have this little pill case. This travels with me everywhere though, and it's really quite handy because you can organize it however you want. So like ibuprofen, Pepto-Bismol, Tylenol, Benadryl, all of the things that you might need when you're traveling. It's like a little mini pharmacy. I love this thing. It goes everywhere with me. And then last but not, I think this is the last item unless there's something I've forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last but not least is the luggage scale because your checked luggage can only weigh up to 50 pounds and books get heavy very quickly. So this one time we were at an event in Vegas and we were outside the airport literally laying on top of our luggage trying to zip it and moving books into other things. Our backpacks weighed like 1,000,000 pounds, which was, we were so thankful we had the bubble mailers to protect our books though. But we were like, we cannot be doing that in front of the big like airports ever again. So luggage scales, super cheap, very, very handy to have at a book event.
They're nice. Yeah.
And if you don't have one and you're at an event, you can always post in that Facebook group. Somebody will be on in the event that has one and can run it over to you.
Probably us.
Yeah, us too.
The tip with the bubble mailers, when we're talking about luggage, is it's going to protect your book from. So if you don't have a hard case suitcase, and we've seen people who've packed in, just the cloth, the regular suitcase, the old kind of suitcase, and they've gotten home from their trip, and then in the book event, they've commented or made comments that somehow their suitcase got wet traveling from point A to point B, whether it was raining outside and they had a connection or whatever that is. And so the bubble mailers, protect your book if you're traveling with a suitcase that's not a hard case luggage, but they also keep it from being banged up. We highly suggest getting a hard case luggage with what we have because we live in Washington and it's gonna rain and I don't want my books ruined. You don't want to spend all that money on those books and then they're ruined. Plus they're signed. When are you gonna get them again? When are you gonna see that author again?
Yes. Okay. There was one more thing.
Okay.
Trades. Trades have been really, really popular at book events where people will create like little things to trade with different people. It started kind of with like friendship bracelets and then morphed into like little goodie bags and stuff. And so we always bring a trade. It's just a fun thing to do.
You don't have to.
You do not have to at all. People will still often give you things even if you don't have a trade, but it's just a fun way to talk with people and connect with people. But don't feel pressured. It's just something fun. But trades can be simple, like it can just be some stickers, like fun stickers, or you can go more intricate and make like little goodie bags. But again, it's just for fun and it should never be something that you feel like you have to do.
Yep.
Okay, I think that was everything on the list.
Okay.
Is there anything I've forgotten?
I don't know. It's a lot. It's second nature to us now, so we totally forget it. So if we brought up something that like you guys have questions about, put them in the comments. We'll answer.
Put them in the comments. I think I have everything on here. And so and make sure that you know your different forms of payment. So bring some cash. There are some authors who, most authors don't, but there are some authors that can only take cash. A lot of your bigger authors will be able to take card, but Venmo and PayPal are probably the most popular forms of payment. And then also check out the merch. There's always usually vendors who have different cool merchandise, and sometimes they are open at different times than the signing. So you want to make sure you always just check that schedule.
Yeah, we always do try to have a little bit of cash on us, just because sometimes you go to an event and the Wi-Fi will suck, and then you can't pay with Venmo or the credit card machines won't read. Especially if there's a lot of people in them, you just never know. So we always have a little backup payment method.
And people are always really friendly. So if you're going to an event by yourself, you can always post in the Facebook group. There's always people who are traveling by themselves that are happy to meet up with other people that are there by themselves to hang out and to go to the event together and just have fun. So everybody's always very friendly. And don't be afraid to go up and talk to authors that you've never read before. Just simply say, hey, I've never read you before. What kind of books do you write? And
Authors are just as much introvert as the next person. So they're out of their comfort zone too.
So go and just have a lot of fun, but having these essentials can just make everything go so much more smooth for you.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we hope you had fun in this video, and we put out videos every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, and a lot of times Wednesday.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in that next video.